hello. Well, welcome back to your favorite program, TS. And by the way, today being Friday, I just thought I'll just mix up so many things. Whatever comes into my mind, I will say. So I don't have any strict thing.
My stay at Cactus Creek was absolute perfection from start to finish. The check-in was super smooth, fast, and the staff made me feel right at home with the friendliest vibes. Every part of the place was aesthetically pleasing. Then came the room. It was elegant, stylish, spacious, and insanely comfortable. Basically a cozy little sanctuary. Every interior detail and accent matched the vibe so naturally, creating this incredible, wholesome atmosphere. I wanted to take it all in before heading to the restaurant to order something. I must commend them for their prompt service. Their menu is practically endless. You could try something new every single day. And for the weather, their drinks are refreshing and cool. My favorite part was taking a walk by the poolside and soaking in the sun and looking out on the scenery beyond. Now let's talk about the food, because every single meal was a masterpiece. From rich flavors to gorgeous plating, these delectable dishes did not disappoint. Before heading back to the poolside, I had to check out their gift shop and cafe. It's packed with unique finds, amazing coffee, and sweetest treats to fuel your day. Truly, Cactus Creek hit all the right notes. Trust me, you would definitely want to book your stay here soon. Until then, bye!
You know the first thing that is coming to my mind? Reverend, what's his name? Kusi Boateng. One of the two names. And he actually, guess what? I think his daughter was getting married or something. And rather than paying attention on the doctor getting married and giving her daughter advice on marriage and things, he decided on that platform to say that if Ghanaians want to send him to jail because of his friendship with Bawumia, you can send me to jail. Listen to this before I come back and comment.
I want to say on my own pulpit that I don't care whoever thinks about it. Dr. Bawumia is my friend and will continue to be my friend. I will not hide it. I'm not a hypocrite. And if for this reason anybody wants to imprison me, go ahead. Prison is not for animals, it's for human beings. I've been there, I didn't die, I came back. And so it is not a crime to be a friend. And I want to say, Dr. Bawumia and Hajia Samira Bawumia are my friends, my sisters, my brothers, and my bosom friends with no apology.
You see, this is what ideally I will call nonsensical nonsense. Listen, I'm sure you're aware that the forensic audit for the National Cathedral is out.
The audit report reveals that there were troubling discrepancies in consultancy fees paid to Sir David Ajayi and Associates Limited for the mobilization and design of the National Cathedral of Ghana. Now, while the Office of the President confirms a total payment of 113,040,564 cedis only, the firm, that is Sir David Ajayi and Associates Limited, reports having received 117,972,656 Ghana cedis, which gives a variance of 4.9 million Ghana cedis, which as of now remains unexplained. Payment records show that 87,938,750 cedis was paid by the Ministry of Finance between 26 September 2018 and 25 November 2019. Subsequently, the Office of the President made two payments. One which was 29,664,845.29 Ghana cedis on 19 February 2021, and another 369,060 Ghana cedis on 5th March 2021, bringing the presidency's total contribution to 30,033,906 Ghana cedis. Combined, these payments amount to 117,972,656 Ghana cedis received by the firm.
And trust me, those who have been fingered in the audit are mostly some pastors who are engaged in this scam. The National Cathedral was a complete scam. So some of the pastors who have been engaged in it, I'm sure that will be called by Yoko or somebody. And the funny thing is, I think Kusi Boateng becoming aware that this report is out, knowingly for sure that somewhere along the line he might be called, try to preempt it by throwing Jandam out there. If because of my friendship with Bawumia, you want to jail me, send me to jail. Jail is for, prison is for, it's not for animals, it's for human beings. I've been there before. All of that I thought was absolute crap. Number one, on the occasion of your child's marriage was not a platform to make Jandam propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, he's just throwing this out there for the congregation, the people to start thinking, say, Paul, he's a friend of Bawumia. This reckless NDC, because a friend of Bawumia, they may arrest him. But you and I know that that is not true. Let me address you personally, Reverend Kusi Boateng. If, I'm not saying well, if you will go to jail, it is because you, number one, be found guilty of totally embezzling funds. Let me just use the word embezzle, stealing funds. And check this out, Reverend. That is what the court will sentence you for if you have done that. So please, stop throwing that useless Jandam ahead of time that I'm a friend of Bawumia. If because of that you arrest me, that is bogus, that is nonsensical, and that is not what will happen. I'm not saying they will arrest you, but I'm saying if you are arrested is because of this loot, and if the court frees you because they find nothing, fine. But if the court comes up with findings that absolutely accuse you, then it will be based on that you'll be sent to jail, and not because you are Bawumia's friend. So speaking of your relationship with Bawumia as grounds for arrest is absolutely nonsensical, folks. Because the logic of what you're saying is that, for example, Wontumi was in jail or is in jail because he was friends with Bawumia. Wontumi and Bawumia were like this. I remember when he used to call Bawumia incoming president, and Bawumia will respond, incoming chairman.
Your Excellency the President.
Yes, incoming. How are you?
Very well, my boss. Very well, my boss.
No to say they were buddies. But trust me, Reverend Kusi Boateng, that is not why Wontumi is in jail. He's not in jail because he's Bawumia's friend. So please, stop that pre-Jandam. This is Jandam Pro Max, Baba. Okay? And one thing too I want to talk about this one day, we all know it doesn't make sense, and let's even move on. Let's move on. But one thing too that I want to talk on, I said today, they make it and Sembibri. Do you know that there was actually a vigil in Kumasi? They held a candlelight vigil to pray to God, for God to pressure Mahama to release Wontumi. When was that actually waiting? They will pray to God that God, please intervene so that Mahama will release Wontumi. And they prayed and prayed and prayed. They prayed. There was a massive candlelight vigil. Look at them.
Viña
Did you hear that? Nyamin ka mahama kuma. It's a miracle God, you know. And the miracle God, Pacho ka mahama kuma. And funny enough, the miracle God was supposed to do that. And then Mahama was just, in the following morning, just announced on radio and TV that God has touched him, so Wontumi must go. Anyway, they were very serious about this prayer, by the way. There were times that they knelt down. Take a look at them, they knelt down.
Now your chairman, or your chairman, you don't know. Someone don't know who the ne, you did that to and see a man peniso. Or no Nagana, the Ghana to Yashan and Sa. Onya said to me, so no, we are chairman, Emobo.
And then, folks, apart from laying down, they say the most powerful prayer is in tongues. So they got carried away. I can't pray tongues. Hear a bit of their tongues. Folks, isn't this funny? This is like the most hilarious levels of nonsensical thinking I have ever seen. Whoever pastor or whoever was leading them, tell them that's what I said. Do you know, I think, let me quote for the pastor. I think it's James 4:3. It says that ye ask and you don't receive because you ask and you ask amiss. You ask simply to satisfy your lustful desires. James, man can't hear papa, but something to that effect. And if I should say it in Chi, listen to what it means in Chi. Or say, Mubom paya, nayin say hua, Yakopon tie. Because Mubon say hua, Mubon say hum. You ask amiss, that's what it means. So you ask amiss. Folks, so this was one of the most, I think, despicable things I've ever seen in my life. Now, Pacho Kumasi for why? Really? You know, Kumasi is not a small Isao. If you know the history of Kumasi, this is a history of kings. This is a history of amazing conquest. Kumasi is enough from Sao. But now, you are destroying this Kumasi vibe with something as useless as we are having a prayer night vigil. This was despicable. Whoever was the pastor, whoever thought of this as an ingenious thing, I'm telling to them today, it was one of the most waste of time, despicable, comical, and farcical events I've seen in my life. And the next thing I want to comment on is this, what's his name, Sivasatete, who actually stood up to say that Parliament is a house of records, but the headquarters of the MPP there is not a house of records. It's a house to propagate. It's a house for us to spill rubbish and lies. So that is what we're going to do to win power. Listen to him a bit before I continue.
We are in a position. We don't need facts. We need to propagate. We need to propagate. 1.5 years in opposition. The party is in parliament. There's no problem. But in parliament, it's a house of records. And as someone down, it is not a place of records. It is a place of propaganda.
Folks, do you know the saddest part of all of this? This man is actually vying to become the national secretary of the NPP. Oh, national secretary of the NPP. Did you see him? The garbage. Let me tell him this. I have sort of some bad news for him, Mr. Tete. The bad news I have for you is that they say in pidgin English, people them eyes tear. Mr. Tete, So you say Parliament is House of Records, so you won't do Jandam there, but your headquarters there is a house of Jandam, so you do what you want. But let me tell you this, Mr. Sebatetete, people's the idea. People are awake. You know, sometimes I browse through, is it TikTok or social media? There's this guy called, I've seen some postings of one guy called GH Poki. I've seen some posting on one little lady, I think her name on this Vibrant. I've seen one guy called Freedom Minds. I'm just mentioning those that I remember. There are tons more. Kids. And when they analyze things or even when they poke fun at things, you can tell it comes with so much intelligence. So unfortunately for you, Mr. Tete, these are the people you should worry about too. Gone are the days when there were a few solid radio and TV stations that you could pay and get them to do your bidding. Hey, one thing, you can radio so you can TV. Back in those days, when gendarme could be carried out, there were stations who were ready to be bought to do gendarme. I'm sorry. Those stations are still there, but we'll be sure. They are still there. But trust me, the average Ghanaians, the youth and the people, they are scrolling on TikTok to find things. Isn't it sad that some major TV stations, major radio stations can't compete with TikTok? Hey, yo. But do you know why? It's because people have just started realizing that gendarme to confuse and gendarme to lie persist constantly on major television and radio networks. And sadly, it's the WhatsApp small boys and girls who come and contradict them. So people go there. It's very, very sad. So my dear Sylvester, unfortunately for you, now there's new media. As you say that your party is not a place for records, so it's somewhere that you can propagate lies. Unfortunately for you, there's new media. And apart from just the fact that there's new media, there is a reawakening of Ghanaians. And folks, my only prayer is that reawakening keeps growing and growing and growing. Because the more it grows, the more people become discerning and they can tell when they see lies. So there we go. Anyway, the interesting thing that I want to talk about too is this goal board. Look, Ghana, for this goal board establishment, if we focus it the way we should and we support it the way we should, trust me, the massive turnaround that it will give Ghana is unbelievable. So for me, it is not surprising that it has become a target of such attacks. Those who are attacking it probably know that this goal board has now become like some strong foundation that JM is standing on to create massive changes. They can see, they can feel it. And all those who in the past have prayed that, we are praying that this government should fail.
I want him to fail. I want my party to win the 2028 election.
So you want him to fail?
I don't want Mahama to succeed as in succeeding. I want my party to win.
Now see goal board as coming in the way of their prayer. Because they know that if this goal board stays focused, and if the goal board does what it's supposed to do and not get trapped into corruption and deals, they don't get trapped into that, but they stay the focus, then the goal board is going to be a massive, massive, massive agent for changing Ghana. And if that happens, all those who are praying, God, let this government fail so I come to power, their prayer will be like you pray a mesh, and God doesn't even answer because what bossing? So I'm saying this, and you know that there was all this talk about goal board. I had the opportunity to host the Afenyo marking a few days ago, and he brought up the gold board, of course, all the things that are wrong that they are pointing out, and Sammy Gyamfi is not listening.
And the IMF, August year, on report on the Babontia, the whole of last week, now the minority for Yakika Wasem, and the Minya Abna or Seasar Ekebi, Kojon Kopon Kromaso Kasaya, and a Miaso Mebe Kebi. Wafa, IMF for reporting, essay, gold board, Aboka 22 billion cedis. That is 1.7 billion US dollars. And on my letter ma buying say, on taking certain steps be emphasize. Well, for the Amibi Sani say ban saying what happened.
And those of you who watch the show, you realize that I chose not to comment on that. Two reasons. One, I don't understand the intricacies of gold finance on the world market. And no credit you. No credit ye. So I don't understand the intricacies of gold trading on the world market like that. So when Afenyo was on my show, he spoke a lot about the blah, 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 blah. And those of you who remember, all the thing I said is this. I'm sorry, I actually admitted to him then. I'm sorry, I don't know too much about this. But the second thing, thankfully, Sammy Gyamfi is going to be talking today and addressing everything that you have said. So let me listen to Sammy Gyamfi too. I've heard you. Let me listen to Sammy Gyamfi too. And then I can call myself somebody who has now heard both sides. Me kasa fefeni ade, but I will also be the first to admit that I don't understand the intricacies of the gold financing and all those things. You know? I try to learn as much. All I know now is this. I think the minority has put forward some very good questions and concerns, and what I know is that Sammy Gyamfi has decided that there should be some parliamentary committee, if you want, set up the committee, invite him, and then one-on-one, he can explain everything, whether it's me or to you, and it's a different issue. And then I also read today that he's going to be featured with the accountability series to explain. So I'm not saying what you have done is wrong or anything. I'm just saying I would like to listen to him too. And then says, so this is all you're saying. So after all, now the Afenyo can right. Or Afenyo must be a Musomati, because this is the explanation.
Okay.
That to me is the way we can hold this nation and move it forward. And people, both you and I, we have all had both sides. Whatever your decision is your decision. So I don't have to tell you what I have decided. All I've decided is this, that this gold board is a solid thing. And if we are going to embrace it and make sure that we allow it to work and work correctly. I always keep the correctly, because in the party, you know, human beings, we can get corrupted anytime and misfire anytime. So I keep saying, if we do things correctly, as we're doing this now, then gold board is a big asset. It's quite interesting that of late, the new gendarme, so even gold board was started by Bawumia.
Domestic gold purchase, who brought it? Program, Bawumia. Who brought domestic gold purchase to shore up our reserves? Bawumia. Then who brought the other angle? And he said we are going to extend it into foreign currency.
Intimekaya, Dr. Bawumia, Akufo-Addo, Embreso, MPP Aban, and na Sanshi Sheye no buy.
Even that cry, it was started by Bawumia, so and you should give credit to Bawumia for the gold. Really? And the funny thing for me, folks, is you same people were telling us that Bawumia did not have a chance. You same people told us that the whole thing was commandeered by His Excellency Akufo-Addo, and unfortunately, Bawumia was sidelined.
Some people said Dr. Bawumia was in charge of Ghana and the economy. It's false. Do you know who was in charge of Ghana and the economy of Ghana? President Kufuor.
You have said that. I think I've even heard Nana Kumia say that before. Something to the effect that he was not in charge and he has to go. He had something to that effect.
Commander, Ujidi said Baumia now are in charge of the economy during Akufo-Addo's time. Miminjindi.
But this is my question, no? The man that you all have decided was not in charge, the man who himself said he did not have the opportunity to run the things his way. So we should not give him the steer to change things around.
As vice president, I am like a driver's mate. But by the grace of God, if you make me the president, I will be in the driver's seat with constitutional. I will be in the driver's seat with constitutionally mandated authority to pursue my vision and my priorities.
That same man too is the one who has come up with these amazing ideas that is benefiting the NDC now. I leave that to yourselves and I leave that to Ghanaians to think. Why? Why? So anyway, all I'm saying is that, even if it's your idea, fine, yeah, that's it. I'm saying that this thing, as it's being applied now, is working. So let's stop the jandam, let's back it to work. And I can understand why many people will be afraid. Look at, where are we going to get money to do the big push? Where's the money for the big push? Where's the money going to come from to do this expressway to Kumasi? Where's the money to come from? Now Segleme is being revisited so that Segleme is brought back. This amazing housing project that was left to rot is being revisited.
You can see the beautiful montage behind me. This is how it's going to look when you come back at the end of next year. As the developer said, 700 units by March next year we'll be able to commission, and another 1,000, actually total of 1,500 by end of next year, by December next year.
Where are the monies coming from? Syria, the hospital is being revisited now. Even streets are now being remade. The contractors are now back to clear the road to make streets to Syria Hospital.
The poor and largely unmotorable state of the road has been cited as one of the major obstacles to the operationalization of the Sewa Hospital. Appearing before the Ashanti Council on Tuesday, June 11, 2026, the Ashanti Regional Minister indicated that efforts towards the operationalization of the hospital are progressing steadily. This comes after the 4-day strike by doctors at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, demanding the operationalization of the facility to ease pressure on CAD.
The question is, where are all these coming from? They're coming from the fact that Gold Board is working. And so long as Gold Board is working, these things will also have a foundation because there will be resources to build on them. So I tell you today, the only people who hate for Gold Board to succeed are those who are nation wreckers. No question about that too. And when I talk about nation wreckers, I'm talking about all the people out there whose daily prayer is that this government should fail.
I want him to fail. I want my party to win the 2028 election.
So you want him to fail?
I don't want Mahama to succeed as in succeeding, because I want my party to win.
Forgetting that this government and this country is like a ship. The government or the leadership of the country is like the captain of the ship. And if the ship runs into whatever, an iceberg or something, and the ship is sinking, which symbolically means if the government has failed and the ship is sinking, all of us sink with the ship. But the nation wreckers are so stupid, they don't think about that too. Let the ship sink. They forget they will sink some. But that's why they call nation records. Yes, in your madrimu. So I am calling for those of us who are bent on making sure that we build this nation, to make sure that we support not just Gold Bordeaux, but every other thing that will come in place to help make Ghana a better country. And we get to see Segle Medan. I'm so elated when I see tall. Listen to this. Sometimes people don't understand those of us who are looking for nation building. People think it's a money issue. Let me take advantage and clear this now. There are people that I thought were even more intelligent than me. People who are like my colleagues. If they are watching, I told them I'll say this anyway. Who say, hey, KSM. They say, Chale, and this is my blog. That's the first time I heard that there's an expression called blog, which means they paid you, boom. And I said, coming from you, I'm very, very surprised. Because I would have thought, sir, your education and your level of intelligence will let you know that there are people who understand the sacrifice that they should make for this nation. And folks, the key word there is sacrifice. So trust me, when you are sacrificing, you are not begging for money. So I'm glad I have the opportunity to throw this out there. Please, and I'm sure many of you know this, that we are not here every day to suffer and talk about building Ghana because we are on payroll. In English, they'll say, God forbid. And the famous Nigerian word is tofiakwa. That we are on the payroll. Whose payroll? Who can pay us? Please, give us just a little respect. I know most of you do, so I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry. I'm talking to the few ones out there who think that, Charlie, please, nothing of that sort has happened, and nothing of that sort will ever happen. Trust me, when we do this, my producer, I call him Yes Boss, Dynamic Young Man. This guy, one day I'll tell the history of this show. He was radio when you visa or call Canada. And I said, yes, well, so I go to Canada. So, Charlie, what am I doing in Ghana? Long ago there, before the change happened. And then one day he came and said, but boss, people say you used to be doing some show called TALKSHOP, man. But now why don't you revamp it? Let's put it on air, blah, 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 blah. So folks, I won't lie. All the credit for what I'll do goes to that small boy. He's like my third born, small boy. You know, he says, no, boss, let's concentrate on this. Now, let me tell you this, folks. He didn't go to Canada. He says he'd rather stay here. Let's work together and build. And he's very, very confident that something will come out of this. So folks, I just want to dispel that before I continue. So we don't come here every 3 times a week to beg, nation building, because somebody's getting some salary. From the where? From the where? Let me not go into other things, but let me assure you, folks, that has never been the agenda. Having said that, let me go back to where I'm talking about this. All I want to say with this little diversion is that some of us know that the responsible generation will plant a tree, knowing very well that they may not probably grow up to experience the shade of the tree, but they plant it anyway. Why? Because there are future generations that are coming who will come and enjoy the shade of the tree. That's why they do it too. You know, my producer is a young guy, so he should enjoy some shade. He should be enjoying some shake right now. Me, I enjoy the shake. I cry. What about the worst, But, so the whole thing I was talking about, the sacrifices, planting that tree, you must be committed to it. So now let's move on. Kwame Nkrumah, long ago, when you independence for Ghana, and then among some of the trees he planted, that at the time we didn't know the use of. It was a motorway. Who was even committing to Accra that much for you in 1960 to be thinking about building the motorway? And just so you know, the people who descended from the MPP, that time I think they were called the NLM or the UP or something, they opposed the motorway. And here, we say then, back in those days, so he built it. The Akosombo Dam, then the biggest hydroelectric project in the world. Then, he was building it then, no? Folks, did he live to experience and enjoy the benefits? Why? Even at the time he was building the dam, the same opposition, that time we had Dr. K.A. Abrifabuzia, fantastic academician. He went to the U.S. Congress to testify that they shouldn't give any money to Nkrumah to build the Akosombo Dam. So the opposition started long ago. Whoever was opposing Nkrumah to build the motorway, to build the dam, funny enough, is their descendants that are still opposing the expressway, opposing the gold board and everything. But let's move on. This is all I wanted to say. That Nkrumah, when they built the Tuma oil refinery, when Nkrumah built Tor, at that time, Ghana had not even seen a drop of oil anywhere. You think, say, we bought them. Nkrumah, why are you building an oil refinery when your country is not producing oil? This is what I'm talking about too. He planted it anyway. Now he's gone. Nkrumah has been dead for several years now. But guess what? Look at the trees he planted. Tema Oil Refinery, thanks to JM, has now entered the zone of actually refining our own crude.
Today is more than just the commissioning of refurbished refinery units at Tor, and it's more than just the receipt of another cargo of Ghanaian crude oil. It is above all a declaration of purpose. We're here to celebrate the resilience of a nation that refuses to surrender its strategic assets to decay and decline. A functioning refinery represents more than just industrial capacity. It represents confidence, it represents jobs, it represents technological capability, it represents energy security, and above all, it represents a nation's determination to control more of its own economic destiny. Since May this year, Tema Oil Refinery has successfully received 3 separate 1 million barrel cargoes of crude oil. This represents a clear statement of government's commitment to ensuring that our petroleum resources increase value and create value here at home. Of these deliveries, the refinery has already processed 2 million barrels into a wide range of refined petroleum products. As we implement the 24-hour economy initiative and the accelerated export development program, institutions such as Tor will play an increasingly central role in expanding industrial production. The revival of Tema Oil Refinery demonstrates that Ghana can rebuild its strategic institutions, add value to its resources, and chart a path towards sustainable prosperity. May these facilities continue to power Ghana's industrial reform and contribute to a stronger, more prosperous and self-reliant nation.
They have made some amazing profits. We know that in the 8 years that NPP took over, it was run down to the point where there was discussion about, should we sell this thing? And I think it's around 22 million. Let's sell this thing. See how it has turned around, and now Tor is producing oil for Ghana. Eventually see how that is going to affect the prices at our pumps. The question is, did Nkrumah know he was going to do this? Is Nkrumah the one who's going to enjoy this? No, he just planted the tree. That's all he did. He planted the tree. So that's all we're doing. Now, many trees have been planted. Some are getting into maturity and everything. But let's keep on keeping on. And that's why we are here every day and we talk every day, all the noise about let's build this nation. And for somebody like me, it's not about Oji block. I almost say something, but I have to be decent enough to not to say it. Oji block. No, that's not what we are here for. And all the people that I mentioned to, I know that they are out of their own will and desire to build this nation are doing what they are doing. They are not on anybody's payroll. So to those of you out there who thank us and appreciate what people are doing, note that it's a sacrifice that we have adopted, and the sacrifice will succeed. So folks, that's it all. That's it. Let us build this country, because what we'll get from building this country is phenomenal. And JM has seen it. JM has seen it. So let's give him the opportunity. Let's back him. And all of those of you who are there who are praying for failure, please, can I say kindly and politely, can I say with all respect, just 3 words: go to hell. Ghana should fail, you belong in hell. So folks, this country won't fail. Many of us became disappointed when we thought things were slow and justice was not grinding fast enough. But it's going to grind. Even, what is his name? Kusi Boateng has felt, say, Charlie, this grinding thing may come more. That's why there's this self-confession. Baumia is my friend, his wife is my friend, and they will be my friends. If I go to jail, they will be my friends.
I want to say on my own pulpit that I don't care whoever thinks about it. Dr. Baumia is my friend and will continue to be my friend. I will not hide it. I'm not a hypocrite. And if for this reason anybody wants to imprison me, go ahead. Prison is not for animals, it's for human beings. I've been there, I didn't die, I came back. And so it is not a crime to be a friend. And I want to say, Dr. Baumia and Hajia Samira Baumia are my friends, my sisters, my brothers, and my bosom friends with no apology.
Just, you know, you're talking amiss. And all the vigils. You know, you are all praying amiss. And Kusi baby, I guarantee that. You think God is some lunatic? Anyway, let me forgive you.
My stay at Cactus Creek was absolute perfection from start to finish. The check-in was super smooth, fast, and the staff made me feel right at home with the friendliest vibes. Every part of the place was aesthetically pleasing. Then came the room. It was elegant, stylish, spacious, and insanely comfortable. Basically a cozy little sanctuary. Every interior detail and accent matched the vibe so naturally, creating this incredible, wholesome atmosphere. I wanted to take it all in before heading to the restaurant to order something. I must commend them for their prompt service. Their menu is practically endless. You could try something new every single day. And for the weather, their drinks are refreshing and cool. My favorite part was taking a walk by the poolside and soaking in the sun and looking out on the scenery beyond. Now let's talk about the food, because every single meal was a masterpiece. From rich flavors to gorgeous plating, these delectable dishes did not disappoint. Before heading back to the poolside, I had to check out their gift shop and cafe. It's packed with unique finds, amazing coffee, and sweetest treats to fuel your day. Truly, Cactus Creek hit all the right notes. Trust me, you would definitely want to book your stay here soon. Until then, bye!
But let's come back to the point that nation building is a sacrifice. It takes a lot of love. Let's all get that love into us and build this country, man, because I swear to God, if this country rises, you'll be amazed at this country called Ghana. So I'm going to end here now, but I'm ending with all the confidence that I can say, I swear to God, Ghana will rise again.
Amen. We are after Yehovah. Amen. Elohika bika luvika. Amen. Uvika no vasika. Uvika ni yoduka. Tony yasa. Amen. Tony yasa. Amen. Tony yasa. Tony yasa.